The day I buried my husband, my son chose cake over his own father's coffin. Not an emergency, not some unavoidable tragedy, a birthday party. While I stood there, completely alone, listening to the priest's final prayers, my son was laughing, cutting slices of vanilla frosting, and toasting to his wife's special day. But what he didn't know, I had already found the hidden transfers. I had already read the unsent letter, and by the time he realized his mistake, it would be too late to undo what I'd done. I wasn't always the kind of woman who rewrote her will in silence. For 40 years, I was the mom who never missed a school play, the wife who packed extra aspirin in Thomas's lunchbox because construction sites are loud and headaches sneak up on you. We weren't rich, but we were steady, the kind of family that reused Christmas wrapping paper and called it tradition. Adam was our miracle. Born after 2 miscarriages, was this wide-eyed kid who cried when the goldfish died. At 12, he promised me, "When you're old, I'll build you a house with ramps so you won't fall." That's why his voicemail shattered me. "Mom, I know it's Dad's funeral, but Mia's family will send flowers." No hesitation, no apology, just the muffled sound of laughter in the background, like I'd interrupted a comedy. For 3 days, I told, "He's grieving." Mia must have pressured. Then I opened Thomas's desk. Bank statement, 6 figures, gone. Transfers, medical. Except Mia's income showed her sipping Martine Cabo. That's the letter. Unsent, scribbled in Thomas's shaky. "Adam, you're reading this. You've lied to." That's when my son, he'd been, so I did what any quieter would do. I called my lawyer. I recorded and when Adam finally teary-eyed and I let him because grief doesn't you cry. Sometimes it sharpens. And what I saw next, well, let's just say Adam wasn't could play the long. Grief does strange things, like how I could suddenly recall every odd moment I'd brushed off. For that time Adam borrowed $15,000 for a startup that never launched. The way Mia always steered conversations toward our retirement. Even Lily's nervous habit of biting her raw, something she'd only started after Adam into that luxury. But nothing prepared me for what I found next. The bank statements showed withdrawals every clockwork. 8,000, 12,500, always labeled medical or family, except Thomas's last doctor's for a sprained wrist, and our family emergency to coincide perfectly as spa week. Then I found the second, transfers to an account I didn't recognize, $17,000, and a sticky note called bank, account under Lily's trust, but Adam's the signatory. My tea, because Lily didn't have a trust fund. We'd never set one up. That's when I did something I'd never done. I called my son and lied to his face. "Adam, honey, I found Dad's old files. Did you know he had life insurance?" I heard it then, the sharp intake of breath. The pause just, yeah, Mom, but it's complicated. The lawyer's handling. Lie number 1. Thomas's policy had lapsed years ago. Then came his dripping with fake concern. "You shouldn't stress over this stuff. Maybe Mia and I should take over your finances." Lie number 2. I clutched the phone so tight my knuckles turned white. "That's sweet, but I've got it under control." Silent. Then, click, the sound of another call waiting. Adam's voice turned hurried. "Gotta go. Lily's sick." Lie number 3. Because 10 minutes later, Mia posted a selfie at Nordstrom. Caption, "Retail therapy with my best girl." And there was Lee in the background. Forced smile, eyes red from crying. That's when I knew this wasn't just about money. I waited until midnight, dug out Thomas's, and that's where I found the small, brass, taped behind a photo of Adam's college graduate. It fit a safety deposit box I never knew. Inside, 1 USB drive, and a note. "Linda, if you're reading this, trust nothing, especially not our son." But the real shock came. That USB held my son's soul, and it was uglier than I imagined. The first audio file played with a click. Adam's voice, crisp and calculating. "Easiest way is to get power of attorney. Once we control her accounts, we can move the money slowly. She'll think it's inflation." Mia's laugh made my skin crawl. "Please. She still uses coupon books. Just tell her banks charge fees now." They'd rehearsed. Folder after folder revealed their blueprint. Fake medical bills for Lily, $28,000 for allergy, forged estimates for home repairs on my property, even a mock-up of a retirement community brochure with my name handwritten on the front. But the real dagger, the nanny cam footage. April 9th, 8:47 p.m. Mia's manicured fingers tapping wine glass she held. Once we get her declared incompetent, we sell the house. Lily gets a college fund, minus our management fee, obvious. Adam didn't just nodded while scrolling Zillow. Zoning allows 6 units if we tear it down. That's 1 point. The camera caught Lily's shadow and frozen, listening. My hand shook so hard I had to pause the. That's when I noticed the times 3 days Miss died. They'd been planning this while I was changing his oxygen, a new file caught my eye. Lily backup. Inside, a child's shaky handwriting scanned into PDF. Grandma, Mom says you're getting sick, but you made pancakes last week and remembered I hate blueberries. Dad says don't call you anymore. I left this under your mat. I'm sorry. Dated the day of Thomas's. That's when the tears came. Not for Adam, for the 12-year-old who'd risked more than her parents ever had. I became someone else. That night called a locksmith, changed every lock while Mia's Instagram showed her at a vineyard, hired a forensic accountant, found 317K missing from Thomas's, bought a burner phone, texted Adam, let's talk finances Sunday, bring paperwork. He arrived smiling, that same grin he'd flashed winning the 5th grade science. Mom, you're making the right choice. He patted the fold in his lap. We'll take such good. From the kitchen counter, my phone read everything. Before we start, I slid the. Lily wanted you to have this. Recognition flashed in his eyes a second. The TV screen behind me lit up with nanny cam. Mia's voice purred through. If she fights, we'll say she gave us the money. Who'll believe a senile old bat over us? Adam's face drained of color. That's out of context. Context? I tapped my. The forensic report appeared. Explain this 45K trailer the day after stroke. His mouth open, closed. Then came the sound I'll never. A gasp from the hallway. Lily stood there, backpack dangling, tears in her face. You said Grandma was too sick to remember. Voice cracked. You lied. Adam reached. Sweetheart, let's go home. No! She wrenched away, clutching my sleeve. I want to stay with Grandma. You're monsters. The aftermath was quiet. The lawyer said we had enough for criminal charges. The bank froze Adam's accounts within 72 hours. Lily moved into my guest room that night. But here's what no one tells you about revenge. It doesn't taste sweet. It tastes like Lily's nightmares at 3. Like the way she still flinches, phones ring. Like realizing the son I raised died long. Last week I found her drawing at the kitchen. A house with 3 figures. Her, me, and a man with. That's Grandpa, right? I asked. She nodded, then added something that shattered me. Made him extra can watch over. I used to think this was about money, about betrayal, about win. But as I taped that drawing right over the from Adam's, this was never. It was about whom after. I chose little girl with flower and injustice. I didn't even after the banks, after watching Lil in a car door, like she expected, yelling. Some pathetic mom instinct kept with not too late, so I waited. For 6 weeks the silence was so. Then, one rainy Tuesday, my doorbell, not Adam, just Lily's pink backpack left, her favorite hair tie still tangled in the strap. Inside, my spare key wrapped in a grocery. She's better off with you, scribbled in Adam's handwriting. The CPS agent's knock still echoed in my bones when Mia's call came. Linda, I'm done. Her voice sounded raw, like she'd been screaming. Adam set up accounts in my name. The bastard was framing me too. I pressed the phone. Emma? Safe with my sister. He'll never find us. A pause. I'm sorry for everything. The apology hung too little, but I saved the recording anyway. Evidence has a way of piling up when least expect it. Justice moved slower than grief, but hit harder. By month's end, Adam's assets were frozen. Turns out draining an elderly parent's savings looks real bad in court. The custody petition was dismissed. Lily's therapist testified about his emotional manipulation tactic. My restraining order was granted so fast, the ink barely dried. But the real victory? Lily started calling me Mama Graham, a mashup that made my heart swell 3 sizes. We built new routines, pancake Fridays with blueberry smiley faces, bad art nights where we painted over Adam's childhood, garden Sunday, planting flowers named after people we loved. Thomas got a sunflower. Our old cat Mittens got a pansy. And Emma, Lily insisted on planting daisies. Because they grow wild, she said, like sisters do. Then came Adam's letter. 4 pages of scribbled rage and regret. You stole my daughter! Emma needs her real family. You'll regret this. The last threat was so cliche, I almost laughed. Almost. Lily watched me shred it into the Will we ever meet my sister? I wiped soil. When she's ready, when hell freezes over, she grinned. So next Tuesday? That's when I knew we'd be okay. But life's funny, like, just when you think the story's over, the envelope arrived. No return address. Just a single photo and a toddler with Lily's nose and Adam's stubborn chin grinning on a scrawled on the back. Her name is Emma. She has your eyes. Lily traced the pic with flour-dusted. And as we taped it to our fridge right beside Lily's latest crayon master, I realized this wasn't an ending, it was a beginning. They say blood is thicker than water, but nobody warns you how heavy that weight. I didn't choose Adam's, the lies, the way my own son looked at just another obstacle, but I did choose. Every morning I choose the crayon drawing crooked on, the way Lily was mama when she thinks, the empty space left. Here's the truth. No one tells you about family. It's not a cage. It's a door you decide to keep. To anyone listening, you don't owe them second, only break you. The bravest thing I ever did, sing Adam, and it was letting myself believe I deserved the quiet. So now, our home smells like burnt paint. Our fridge tells the story of who, and that blank space next to Emma's, not an end, just leave space for one more photo. You never know, because love isn't something that happens. You fight for every damn. No apology, no explanation, just done. Lily found me holding it at the kitchen table, my tears splattering the fake wood veneer. Grandma? Her small hand covered mine. I picked you. Simple words. Shouldn't have leveled me like they did. That night, I finally understood. This wasn't about saving Adam anymore. It was about saving the broken little girl sleeping down the hall who still apologized for needing breakfast. We built a new normal. Pancake Sunday, blueberry faces. Her teaching me TikTok dance badly. Finding sticky notes in my purse. You are pretty with heart stick. For the first time in years, I didn't feel like someone's after. Then the envelope came. No stamp, no return. Just my name in block letters. Off. Inside, a birth certificate. Child's name, Emma Grace Wilkins. Date of birth, 09/14/2020. Father, Adam James. The math punched me in the throat. Thomas died November 2020. Adam had been hiding a baby while draining our accounts, while planning to declare me incompetent, while letting Lily believe she was an only child. The room tilted. Because here's what no parenting book prepares you for. Realizing your child isn't just a disappointment, but a stranger capable of horrors you can't fathom. Lily's voice snapped me back. Grandma, you're squeezing my juice box too hard. I forced a smile, tucking the paper, just thinking how much I love you, Bug. But as she skipped off, one terrible question. Was this Adam's or a cry for that birth proof of Adam's? It was a live. Let Lily draw smiley. I quietly told every phase 1 paper, printed every damning screen, Cabo, time-stamped a medical, had the nanny cam footage transcribed, old copies, instruction, open if I die. Phase 2, legal armor. My new lawyer was a pit bull. She skimmed the document. Honey, we won't just, we'll make cake. Together, we built a restraining order tied to the trust. Adam automatic. A forensic audit of Thomas's, tracing every cent to spa, an ironclad will, leaving Adam to confirm this. Phase 3, the bait. I knew Adam would crack first. The man never could. His text came 2:17. We need to talk about. I waited and Sunday 3. He arrived. That stupid. He flunked his first job. Was freshly clutched a family. Mom, all puppy dog. I know you're hurt. Sit. I gesture farthest. I poured Earl, the one with Adam, evil action, financial exploit. I sipped my. The state is. I'm just his binder. Funny. I tapped your father too, and now you're giving everything. Snot nose loves me. The back door had frozen. Her art poured dozens of sketches. A toddler. Adam. I drew. I'd recognize the silence. 3 sharp knocks. Not the tentative rap of Grandma. That's the knock from last. I reached to the handpin tooth. Adam. The woman sitting there held